energy efficiency in church buildings. We work with green teams and contact groups, and we do events like this. We do advocacy, and we're up here with 350 Vermont. We're going to be heard with Vermont Energy Action, the NRC, Vermont Conservation Voters, and I'll be this one out. Be heard. And yeah, today we're really here to bring this group to the lobby training next door for a little bit, make some time, and we wanted to invite you all to a group digital stuff that we're already on the offline, sort of a more ceremonial way of honoring the work we're doing. And we wanted to provide pizza today. We just wanted to say thank you to you all for your work.
Oh, you paid for the pizza?
We,
Oh, thank you. Listen with even bigger ears.
yeah, we realized we just wanted to hear to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself. Yeah.
My name is Reverend Richard Dipper. I'm a retired United Methodist person, and I'm a member of the board of State Power and Light. And their website for. I'm here today mostly for help.
I'm Mary Andrews. I'm a member of the First Unitarian Universalist Society.
You.
And also representing Bridget Vermont.
I'm Sarka. I'm a member of the climate action team at the Montpelier Unitarian Church. And I'm just here to find out who's on this caucus and what you all are up to.
Awesome. We can answer that question. You have one more person that's coming, so maybe we'll.
Yeah, but I don't know where he's at, so we
Yeah. Cool. So are there any bills or things that you're tracking that you want us to know about?
Yeah, so
And feel free to come up here too if you want to speak more facing out too.
yeah, it's up there. Richard's here. Okay. So I know as you all are just defending Global Warming Solutions Act, Act, Renewable Energy Standard. We're interested in H767, defending Act 181, rejecting H601.
What is H601?
H601 is the adding nuclear power to the renewable energy standard.
Okay.
We're very pro S202, affordable solar energy devices. Passing H600, which is the appliance efficiency standards, adopted at state law. But we have a long list.
Yeah. This is your time.
Okay, great. H740, which is the greenhouse gas inventory registry. Passing S219, the bill directing efficiency Vermont to study the benefit of community-based energy navigator programs.
Ooh, and I'll pause you there. I think Senator Hardy, there's a sister bill on the energy navigators in the Senate. I don't know if that's.
S219, which hopefully we will move next week.
Great.
Yeah.
S270, which is just the right to charge EVs. Condos, rent property. And then S176, which is banning the herbicide.
Oh, paraquat.
Yes.
I think those are our good ones.
Hey.
Much about that.
Yeah. Has anyone got any updated information on any of those bills that were referenced that would be relevant? Go ahead.
I need 5 seconds.
Oh, we got to make sure. Go ahead, Senator Hardy.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Senator Ruth Hardy from the Addison District. Thank you all for coming. I serve on the Natural Resources Committee. So as Senator White said, S219, we hope we will move next week. We passed the balcony solar, portable solar bill earlier in the session. It's now over with y'all. And thank you. And we're working on some tweaks, updates to Act 181. So if you're interested in that, you should follow in Senate Natural Resources they are mostly extending deadlines, clarifying language, doing things that don't undercut the bill, the law, but that make the process a little easier. And I think there is mostly support from all players on it, but definitely follow it if you're interested. We are also doing a lot of stuff, it's a little bit away from climate, but more on natural resources stuff with lakes and ponds and water, issues in that community, so, yeah, and can't remember what else, but
Because
there's,
of microplastics and like.
oh, right, we have a couple like toxic stuff bills,
Down with toxic.
yeah, toxic's bad bills, I don't know this, I think we only have 2 weeks left, so we're trying really hard to get as much done as we can. Yeah, thank you.
And then, good, and then Adara.
All right, so the paraquat bill is in my committee, it's agriculture, food and forestry. And we've taken lots and lots of testimony, we've heard many, many reasons why paraquat is evil and harmful and not good, especially for humans. And we also unfortunately are like thinking about how interwoven it is into the fabric of apple orchard growers' lives here in Vermont. So I can't at this moment accurately predict if we're gonna be able to get it out or not. But we are definitely hearing reasons why it, that makes sense, why the bill was submitted. Because it is harmful and harmful more than many of the other also toxic and harmful things that we spray in our environment. This one does really seem to be kind of a level of its own in terms of the harm, particularly the links with increasing rates of Parkinson's. And yeah, I don't know, I don't have a crystal ball, but we're still taking testimony. We heard some, if you ever go back and listen to testimony, we had very compelling testimony from a professor from the University of New Hampshire yesterday afternoon in the Agriculture Committee in the House. So I would recommend listening to that one if you're interested.
And reaching out to the committee members.
Yeah,
Oh, and then there's
yes,
that one.
so I have, did you want to go before on
No,
this
good,
topic?
good.
Okay, I had
I mean, on this
Dara-
topic, yes, but,
Oh, okay, do you mind if we go to Molly on this topic and then
Yeah, I
Dara
just
and then
wanna-
John?
well, John was first, I think.
Oh, I had
Or-
Dara, well,
I don't know.
You decide.
I'll take my place in line.
okay.
Did you want to respond to?
I wanted to picture, I wanted to ask a question.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So I'm wondering, is this part of, the integrated pest management that practices that orchardists do, or
It is.
it's part of that? I mean, when they say we do, IPM, then you sort of feel like, well, they're doing their best, given that they're not organic.
And what we mostly hear about that is that we don't use it very much. We use it very limited. It's basically in the first 3 years that the trees are growing.
Uh-huh.
When the baby trees are coming forth, it kills all the weeds very efficiently in a way that helps the trees to grow and not killing the trees, which is what most of the other pesticides do.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know, John, did you have a thought also on paraquat or something else?
Just conflicting testimony on how far it disperses from the site of applications. We're not getting the same story for people.
Okay.
The one fact though is that 70 countries have banned it, except
Oh.
for
You know, once you sell it to us.
Right.
Ah,
China sells it.
Yeah.
I'll make an
Anyway, I
observation.
wanted to point out though, that just for you folks is, this caucus is bigger than it appears.
Yes, yeah,
And just, well, this isn't all of us.
Yes.
And also, the Ed Committee's looking at a bill to ban landsides as well.
yeah, we have 90 members and unfortunately Thursday lunches, especially after a joint hearing, tend to be a harder time for people, but we'll send out information.
Fellow travelers, but just not necessarily in the seats right here.
Good.
Great, so I'm Representative Derek Torrey, and I'm on the Energy and Digital Infrastructure. So one. Is the. Started. And yeah, we're gonna start
Yeah, we-
probably soon.
Oh, I thought you were gonna finish up the 740. We're gonna try to get that voted out
Before,
this week.
And there's a few other ones we're gonna try to get out, that you didn't mention. One is, that you might wanna talk about the building and
Sure.
bill. I was gonna mention that we take some testimony on a different bill, 753, which is looking at disconnections in the state. And we did hear from someone, who is in the faith community about the role that faith communities play in helping people pay these bills.
Yeah.
And how to shut off. So we've been learning a lot about the different, well, we've been learning a lot about how energy assistance programs in the state are very uneven, and missing in a lot of communities. So that's, I don't know if that's gonna move, but that's kind of people on the committee, and then, data centers is another bill
Oh, yeah.
that we're looking at, because of the land use issues, but we're basically learning that Vermont's pretty well protected with Act 250 and Act 248, but there are some gaps, and, so we've been taking some really interesting testimony.
Do you think you'll have a bill that will pass related to AI data centers this year?
Might be a study.
Or, okay, so
Yeah.
there will potentially be language that'll meet the crossover deadline perhaps on the topic?
That's our goal.
Okay, that's a great goal.
2 weeks left. Yeah, so I'm representing Scott Campbell from St. Johnsbury. Also on energy and digital infrastructure. I have a bill on energy code compliance, working on for a number of years. You probably are aware, we have energy codes that are mandatory on the residential side and also on the commercial side, but we have never had any enforcement or penalties. So there's always been a self-certification thing on the part of builders or the government. So in that context, we're trying to figure out ways to increase basically voluntary compliance, incentivize voluntary compliance. And the strategy that the H718 takes is to sort of increase the visibility of residential contractor registry that is also required. And some contractors aren't apparently doing it. And the Secretary of State's office, which handles professional regulation, doesn't really have the resources or capacity to sort of go after people who aren't registered. So we're trying to increase the visibility of that registry, the usability of the registry, primarily through a website, and also create some sort of a marketing or outreach campaign to let people know that this exists. And if you're thinking about hiring a contractor, you should check the registry to see if they're registered. The registry also includes, although a registry is mandatory, it's not a license. There's no sort of competency test or anything. But there's an opportunity for contractors to get into certifications, including in things like energy code compliance or building science or OSHA safety or what have you. So the bill provides for creating a task force. We've taken 3 years of off-session committees to hear from all stakeholders about what are the hurdles, how do we do this? And it seems like the more we talk about this, the harder it gets. So the bill basically takes the tack of creating a task force of state offices that are involved and stakeholders to come up with answers to some specific issues about that. So who's going to vet the certifications? Who's going to vet the credentialing authorities? How is this all going to work? At what point should residential contractor registration maybe become something more rigorous, perhaps requiring credentials? Issues like that are difficult to resolve when legislators are in the room anyway. So we'll see what happens. It also actually tells the Division of Fire Safety, which has been in the process of assessing what would be required to adopt a residential building code. We don't have residential building code in the state. We do have a commercial building code and that applies to all, even residential properties that are 3 units and up. But the bill would say to the Division of Fire Safety, you're in the process of vetting this and determining what needs to be done. Finish that process by next January and tell the legislature what your recommendation is. So that's basically the bill.
Well, thank you, Representative Campbell. This is his passion. If you have any interest in this topic, this is your go-to person. And then I saw Molly, Jim, and then Phil.
I'm Representative Molly Burke of Brattleboro, and I'm co-chair of this committee, and I'm on the Transportation Committee. There are 4 of us here from Transportation in the room, aware that, transportation is a big contributor to greenhouse gases. Until recently, we had some good money for electric vehicle incentives, but we're now trying to do things, and some of us have presented a bill related to, greater accountability for electric vehicle charging. We want to get some money for Drive Electric Vermont because they do a lot of education around how to own an EV. And so little things like that, conserving, putting in money, making sure there's enough money in the downtown transportation programs, et cetera, making biking and walking, sort of things like that, that are trying to work around within the parameters of no funding and of federal hostile landscape, trying to do what we can in the transportation realm.
Well said. Okay, Jim, and then Phil, and then we can start to wrap up.
Sure. Representative Jim Maslin, Orange Windsor 2. I've worked with Scott and Mike and other people here for years on trying to do just what Scott's trying to do, which is residential building codes, contractor registries. They're all good things. And I would say with regards to those, well, there's a couple of thoughts to keep in mind. One is the mantra out there in many cases with regards to messing with my work as a general contractor. The mantra, and for many of us, I'm a Vermonter, I do what I want. But really what it comes down to, folks, is it's a no-brainer. Residential building codes, quality construction, that's all no-brainer. And in my opinion, I also supervised Habitat for Humanity for 15 years, and I watched over the time that the energy efficiency of our buildings increased dramatically over the 15 years as we learned better stuff and carried it out and taught a bunch of community volunteers and Dartmouth students how to do it right, which is actually a lot of fun if you work with people who are so inclined. So just generally speaking, I'm very supportive of what Scott's working on, Representative Bull's working on, and all the efforts. There's the other part of the mantra out there is to paraphrase it. If you don't know exactly how you're going to get there, any route will take you there. And there are a number of efforts within the House and the Senate on trying to go in this direction. So let's pick one. I mean, if a residential building code is going to help us get there, let's do that. If contractor registry is going to help simultaneously, then for Pete's sake, let's do that. And if I'm a general contractor and I want people to know my chits, as they say in India, join the registry for Pete's sake. We're supposed to do it anyway. And there's nothing to be
You're
afraid.
actually required to do it.
Okay. Well, yeah, so I did it some time ago, but there's no drawback that I can see, really. So I've batted on for a while, but thank you for your time.
Yeah, and thank you for pointing out a former representative. Do you mind saying hello and introducing yourself?
Mike and Representative Sherlock, the energy, natural resource and energy, the energy and some of the energy and digital.
Yeah, and a different name at that time.
Energy and technology.
Energy and technology, yeah. So,
We sat next to each other on the House floor for a number of years. We sat next to each other on the House floor.
A wealth of knowledge, a wealth of knowledge. So Phil, if you want to wrap us up and then we can.
Yep, Phil Powell, represent Heinsberg. And I'm gonna give a shout out to Interfaith Power and Light because it was 15 years ago at our church, United Church of Heinsberg, there was a desire to get more efficiency and all this. And we reached out to you folks first. That got us going. You know, we've since now cover all of our electricity with our solar panels. We have heat pumps. I mean, we did a whole insulating thing. We cut our heating bills about in half. A couple of other comments. I've met a few of you folks in Washington at climate marches.
Hey.
You know, I always recognize they're there, and it's in that national organization, yeah. And then last time we had some folks a couple of years ago join our church, and they stood up and were welcome, and they said, well, when we saw all you having a service under your solar panels, that was the sign. So there is something there to community, faith, and taking care of the environment. That's you know, that is a message that, you know, it's right there.
Well said, Phil, and we really want to thank you for the pizza, for being here. And if any of you as members, legislators want to reach out, it sounds like we've got a point of contact, especially for your own congregation perhaps. So.
And there's also a vigil tonight, right?
Yeah, 4:30 on the lawn.
Yes.
So, an earth vigil. Just Thursday.
And that's all we have for today, so thank you for coming.